Hi, people. It's time.
Mhm.
School has started. Practice is almost starting. Technical practice or 20-hour week practices are almost starting.
No, no, eight
We,
hours. 8 hours.
I mean, 8 hour. I'm sorry,
Well,
8 hour
don't get
weeks.
yourself in trouble
Yeah,
Somebody
now.
yeah.
cheating. Somebody cheating.
No, 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 no.
Let's
Wrong
hey,
number.
let's
Wrong
go to
number.
Fort Worth and find out what's going on now. Come on, come
Wait.
on.
So, have you heard this notion of, speaking of, where in the window, the allowable window, they will start with 20-hour weeks and then go into 8-hour weeks after and then
Yeah, you can
resume
do
the
that.
20.
You
Yeah,
can set it any way you want.
right.
I know. So like yeah, I just have never had because I like the continuity of the keep going instead of backing down.
Right.
Um
It just depends on the people. I mean, the person's preference. I don't know a lot of people that do that, but I've heard people that do it. Yeah.
yeah.
If
So
if you're if you're super committed to what you believe is your training schedule, like you technically could schedule all of your deload weeks as 8 hour,
yeah.
but that's so tedious, and you
Hmm.
Literally,
better stick to it.
right? No, no fluctuating at all. So sorry, I digress already less
So
than a
you're
minute
fine.
into the show. I heard people doing this. Someone had an active conversation with me about it, and I was like, that just sounds horrible. Just maintenance wise. Nothing
Hmm.
else besides maintenance wise.
Well,
But
and again, it
anyways,
just depends on the person, the training program, and
yeah.
sometimes it might have to do with weather. Sometimes it
Yeah,
have to do,
true.
with availability of training facilities and stuff like that. But you know, and some people like to start big, man. Yeah, some people like to start big. Oh, absolutely,
I know. So crazy.
absolutely.
It isn't crazy. It's just different. I'm sorry,
It's just
y'all.
different. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
different. Just
It's a little crazy.
different. Anyways, sorry. Back on track. Back on track. The wheels are back on. Sir Lucius, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just like very excited that there's only, I think, what 5 weeks left in the season now, or four and some change.
I know, right?
A month from now we'll be almost done, and actually a month from now we'll
We'll be
be done
done.
because
Yep. It'll
yeah,
be the last
yeah,
day.
a month from today we'll be done. So let's go. Let's
So
go. Been a long
it's
year.
That
it's been a very
that
long year.
fixed end date does work, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah. It
does.
does.
Yeah,
It does.
there is something to be said for knowing when it's over.
Well, and I think too, like putting the world championships at the end of it all just has seemed to. And for whatever we want to talk about the Grand Slam being or not being, it did create excitement. It did create faster times. When folks are running for money, yeah, they get after it. So, it's been a very exciting year, and I don't see the World Championships not being very exciting as well.
hmm Um, in reference to running for money, I kind of came through this revelation this past week or so. So we always talk about how when the men in the years that they have kids, it's usually a pretty big performance year for them because there's a lot more on the line, quote unquote. I kind of circled back to it when the women are in the years that they're getting married, they tend to have bigger years too. Not all.
Really?
Like if you think about it, there's some correlation to it. So,
Okay.
or engagement years, maybe not wedding years, but that lapse of time. So it's pretty, I was like,
Well,
huh,
Melissa Jefferson got married last year, and this year has been
Yeah,
off the chain.
I think a
just
thing would
saying.
disagree with that logic, but
Well,
touche.
I think a thing needed to move her wedding up.
Right.
Maybe she was planning for next year.
She missed the cutoff. Just kidding. So, anyhow, Clyde, how are you today, sir?
I spent my day at the athletic department playing, not playing golf, but being around golfers. Um,
Mm,
cool. I don't golf, so yeah, I've been driving a golf cart most of the day.
I was gonna say, were you the cart driver?
Oh, absolutely. You know, make sure everybody's good. Because I do not golf.
Splash
Excuse
Zone,
me.
how are you today?
I'm good. I am good. This the last couple days, Diamond League meets brought back some. some PTSD moments from way back in the days in my long jump years. Yeesh.
That shit was brutal.
There was one jump, I think it was Tajay Gale. Not only was there a gigantic splash, but the whole scratch board flew up out the tray and flipped over.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
it was
I was,
floating.
yeah, yeah. That was elitely bad.
Well, you've already started it. Let's just go there. I mean, what do you do? Not run the meet? Like before we get into the results of what happened, do you not run the meet? Do you pause? Do you keep going like they did?
I mean, I think it's Europe, right? They do all kinds of meets in inclement weather, but I just think that Lausanne should know better as it pertains to how to keep the long jump board from puddling like that. Like if you look at the rest of the times of the meet, I mean, the shot putters threw really far in that same rain, and it's not like you can't jump really far. I mean, Carl Lewis jumped 876 in driving rain, so it's not like you can't long jump far. But they just did a just terrible job of keeping the water out of the tray. It was almost like all of the water from the runway ended up in the tray.
I was gonna say, do you think was there maybe a sloping?
Perhaps the long jump runway is downhill. KST. Hmm.
Did we just
Hmm.
uncover something?
One
Whoever
never
goes to
knows.
Luzon next, just roll the ball, see where it goes.
One never
So,
knows.
So,
so
go ahead.
I mean, I came on at the right time because it's the 21st century, man. I mean, come on. This this meet is borderline royalty on the circuit. This meet is highly, highly it's up there in the pantheon of European meets. It's been around forever. Jackie Pelletier he's a legend. I think this was the 50th anniversary of the
That,
meet,
that sounds
Yes,
right.
that's
Wow.
yes. They talked about that on the broadcast.
right? And I've jumped there in rain before, but
Yeah.
never have I ever seen a situation where you allow the tray to become that full of water that
It
now
was flooded.
you're putting the greatest long jumpers of this era in danger. I mean, it's just not, no, no. Like the whole time I'm sitting there going, you're moving the water out with pylons. There
Yeah,
isn't a
that
And,
sh
was
there isn't a shovel
and
anywhere.
hands like scooping.
And the athlete is kneeling down to help. I mean,
Yeah.
no, mm-mm.
I mean,
that
listen,
was that was
I
wild.
feel like rain of that magnitude had a weather report where you knew it was possible. And if you can construct the whole pole vault venue outside of the stadium and build a cover so
Hmm.
the takeoff isn't getting wet, I feel like you could have did the same thing for the long jump at a fraction of time, commitment, and cost.
Look, it's
Just saying.
I just feel like, I'm sitting there screaming at the TV like, where's a meet referee?
Yeah, under the umbrella.
Yeah, that was nuts. The crazy part though is like the results of the meet were if you didn't see what the weather
Yeah,
conditions were,
yeah,
you would never know there was
yeah,
inclement weather.
That's what I
yep.
was just gonna say. It was actually,
Fantastic running.
Because I mean, people are in the space they need to be in 30 days out from the show. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
better be ready to come with it.
I mean, this last 2 weeks of the Diamond League series is it's not for the faint at heart. When you
No.
got Silesia, Lausanne, um, Brussels, and then Velklasa in a 15-day span.
Can I know we're not at the part of the world show where we start making our outrageous predictions. But I want to be really early on this, and I want to be very careful with how I say it. Nadine Visser is a threat to break the world record.
Oh boy.
Not saying she's gonna medal, but if you watch Celestia, I'm telling you right now, that woman can break the world record.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's saying.
and I will not disagree, but so can Masai.
Oh no, right. There's about five of them.
We're
So
going to
can
say, yeah,
Grace.
it's not exactly. It's
So
one
can
not a
Grace.
one woman show by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But I was surprised that Nadine Visser is running like that. And if she didn't hit that fifth and sixth hurdle in the final,
Yep.
Yeah, she was rolling. She was.
Mm-hmm.
She
So
was.
that is a very exciting wild card to the American coronation that everybody thought the hurdles were going to be. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised.
Go ahead.
Well, while we're on this topic, how many fourth spots do you think the U.S. is going to add through the Diamond League final?
Well, who's done a deep dive into the Diamond League rankings?
I'm gonna say there's a big possibility of none. I mean, it's just okay. So if you look at the places, let's look on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
You could clearly say that the women could add one because Messiah or Grace could win the Diamond League final,
Right.
Sure.
right? But then there's the Visser problem all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
On the what other event on the women's side can you see somebody winning the Diamond League? Because I don't think Tara is not a part of it, is she?
Women's 200.
If a major players show up, you think that who's going to win the women's 200? You think Brittany Brown or Mackenzie Long is going to do that?
I mean, I definitely think there's a better than average chance.
Well, then, yeah. Okay.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, or a Navia battle.
Well, see, that Anavia, but Anavia hasn't run since USA, so I'm not sure what's going. But she is in the Diamond League final.
Right.
But I would think Anavia would be because she was running so well early on. So if
Right.
Anavia does what she was doing early on, then she wins, and then Brittany gets in.
Right.
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 So
I
right.
would
So
say that Hoey and the Goose both have far better than average chances at winning their races. Now, listen, anybody who wants to bet on the 8, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say to that.
Yeah.
But for sure, Hoey and the Goose are primed to do so 6 days from now, 7 days from now.
Yeah.
but what was the specific question about the 200?
Well, no, the question I just threw out as a query to all of you is like how many fourth spots do we think the US is going to garner from the Diamond League finals?
Well, I mean, all of the finals aren't exactly set yet, correct? But
No, most are like 7 locked in at
Yeah.
this point.
right. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, especially with this new model, like this is the most important Diamond League final there's ever been.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, for sure.
you're actually running for a lane in the dance.
Mm-hmm.
So who's most desperate? Like Nagoose, you couldn't have told anybody that Nagoose wasn't going to make the American team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Josh Hoey's really, really good, but I don't, no one saw the child unseating people in the 800,
Yeah.
right? Mackenzie Long and Brittany Brown, they're both capable of winning the Diamond League final.
I mean, capable and likely are Oh, I'm
Sure.
gonna say two different situations here. There's a lot of people that are capable,
Who's in it?
and Brittany
Who's in
obviously
it?
ran very well yesterday. She did. Um, but Mackenzie is yet to be the Mackenzie that looks like she's gonna win the Diamond League final.
I mean, I would agree with that. It's fair, but who's in it that doesn't need to be in it?
What do you mean by that?
Like of the women in the 200-meter Diamond League final, the majority of them are already going to Worlds regardless. Correct?
Yes.
But what does that have to do with whether they're gonna win the Diamond League final?
I, I think running for a check and running for desperation to get into World Championships is a different motivator.
Okay, I hear you, but uh there's also this little thing called talent.
That's what I'm saying.
that, that
Like,
One
you
of
know,
forgive
one of
me,
the
I've been
things
to
I
the golf
think
course. Who's in the Diamond League 200-meter final for the women? Who's in?
Who's in for the woman?
Yeah, who's in?
they had 7 locked in as of yesterday.
yeah, I
Mhm.
see the biggest problem you got is if Juju shows up, then there's your first problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so I can't imagine, like, that just seems like a silly thing for Juju to do. Why do
Why?
that?
Why not?
Well, I mean, what if when's the last time Juju raced? Like
Because that's my
literally, like
point.
she might
Like
just
so
need a
she's
race.
exactly she's 30 days out from the show as you called it, or this case 20 something days out from the show. Like why wouldn't she run when she
No,
hasn't raced? Yeah.
So
I'm not saying don't run, but winning it wouldn't necessarily be a priority.
Okay, so now
so
maybe I'm delusional and I know that I'm not. But when have Edric and Juju not shown up to win?
No,
That's
brother, I'm not saying that. But
But you are saying that. You're saying
no,
why would
what I'm
they?
saying
Because
is
that's
getting
who
a
they
race
are.
rep. Okay, so go. What's wrong with the idea of I need a race rep? Go out there and run it like it's a quarterfinal race, a semifinal
That's
race.
not happening with that camp.
Okay.
so so right now, 7 athletes are locked in.
yes.
Amy Hunt leading the way, Anavia Battle, Brittany Brown, Sharika Jackson, Dina Asher Smith, Mackenzie Long, Favor of Feely.
Oh,
Then it
Juju's
Yes,
not
goes,
in there. Then.
that
no,
is completely winnable for Mackenzie Long and Brittany Brown. Completely
then it
winnable.
goes, but here's the thing. Then it goes Talu, Adeleke, and Jenna Prandini all at 12.
Adeliki's
Adam's
out.
out. She's done.
Right.
Yep.
Season over.
Adeleke is done.
I didn't realize Juju's must she must be in the 100. That's what she's running.
Yeah, Juju is
Yes.
leading the 100 qualifiers.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'll bet on Mackenzie Long or Brittany Brown winning that race. Absolutely. That race, 100%. I'll take either one of those two.
And if you look at the weather forecast, they may have the same weather.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, now that's interesting.
Same weather as Luzon.
Yes. Like
That would be awful. That would
they
be so
like
bad.
when I looked yesterday because I was bored at a baseball game. I think the high was supposed to be like 70 degrees, and there was like a 55 or 60% chance of rain. So it was literally
That's not the same thing.
no, that is the
It's not.
same. That was the
No,
exact no. That
because the rain was 100%. There's a big difference.
sure it's 100% when it happens,
Well, see, here's
but
the thing. See, so
the
so so let
forecast is
me
the
let me
same.
let me educate you a little bit, young man.
Oh, here we go.
So you are one of those that says, okay, there's a 55% chance there's going to rain today, right? So in your mind somewhere, that means it's going to rain a lot because there's 55% chance. Well, if it's a 55% chance that it's going to spit on you for 2 seconds, that's rain.
But
So hold on a second. Let
not
me
in
finish.
Switzerland.
Hold on a second. Let me finish. No, that's the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere.
Oh
So you have
boy.
to go and look and see how much rain you're going to get, not how what's your chance of it raining.
I hear you. I understand.
You don't, but that's okay.
So
I, I
so who
completely understand.
so I was less than a year old when I found out what 55% means.
Right.
I did not realize that it meant 55% of your area
It's gonna get rain.
is going to get rain.
Hmm.
It's not a hit and miss. Whatever that area is that your weather program is going to get rain, and it could be a couple drops, as Sir Lucius put it.
Well, so
Right.
you have to go look and
or
see
it
how
could
much
be
rain you're
200.
going to get. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yes.
look, I have watched it rain on the other side of my track and never get to the other side. Happens all the
Full
time. Like,
disclosure,
yeah,
KST. I've never heard that day in my life till you said it.
That's
No,
yeah,
well,
that is
Really?
exactly what that means.
yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it
So,
means.
okay, before someone comes flaming through the comments, there are some apps who have now changed the verbiage, and the percentage actually means potential rain, not
Uh-huh.
area coverage. But
and
the
it says
Weather
potential
Channel
of rain. Yeah,
apps,
it says
yeah,
potential of rain. Yeah.
actual weather apps is how much of your area is
We just
potentially
out
Right.
here
rain.
educating the
We
world,
just we
folks.
just went this way.
Yeah.
We
We
just
we are here to educate the masses. Today I am in the
Oh,
masses.
good.
We have been educated.
Oh boy.
Check. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh shoot, who's on? Diamond League.
So go,
We're just going. We're
we're
talking
Oh,
at,
about the
Diamond. Yeah,
performances here.
yeah.
well,
Celestia.
we got way off base because that's not what we're supposed to be talking about.
Right.
Well, we're just
right.
going backwards today. We're doing backwards uphill workout. So, let's talk about the other Diamond League meet. I'm not going to try to. I've butchered the name every time I've said it out loud. But the
Celestia.
one that starts, yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I blame it on the the gone tooth in my mouth. My
that was. You know what's funny? The takeaway I have from Celestia was a very interesting one. Why has Poland not hosted a world championship? That
wait,
was
didn't we
actually
just
nope. That was my takeaway. Like I didn't know the stadium there was so big,
Oh
and
man.
right, do you know what I mean? Like
Oh, that building. Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
so
man.
I was literally I was like, I wonder why Poland's never hosted a global final. I mean, a global championship.
Well, that track is relatively new, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe they,
Well,
now that
Poland
they have.
has Bydgoszcz has been the main place as far as I've known where they've hosted age group championships and stuff like that. But
Right.
this was different.
That thing was
Unbelievable.
like top tier
We,
Yeah.
on the global scene.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Maybe they'll get
well,
one in this future.
I was gonna say before again comes screaming through the comments, World Indoors is gonna be in Poland.
no,
So
no, no, no.
contrary to the
26.
words that
We ain't talking about that. We talking about
Yeah.
outside.
but before look, words matter.
World
Words
short
matter.
track. World
Yes.
Yeah.
short track
Oh,
Nobody
championship.
cares
world
about the
short
short track.
track. My bad, my
Yes.
bad. As I just said, words matter. I just butchered that one. My bad. But um
Again, I gave y'all my biggest takeaway from Celestia, which was the spoiler campaign that is not even Visser.
Hmm.
But listen, because of the calendar, because of the Super Bowl being at its rightful place at the end, the other awesome thing to look at in Celestia for me was like, look, people are acting as if like Noah Lyles is in trouble. I don't know what
Yeah.
you people are looking at.
Yeah. He's not
Hmm.
in
I
trouble.
don't know what you're looking at. All that dude is doing is measuring his kill.
Yep.
That's all he's doing right now. And
You know what he's doing is very reminiscent of what prior to the 96 Olympics, this is exactly what Donovan Bailey did. I don't think Donovan won a race up until Atlanta, and I think
What did Noah run in this meet?
90.
990
He was
I,
second to
Kishan,
Keyshawn,
Kishane.
Touche.
and then the
10
following
in
meet,
the rain.
then he ran 10-0 in the rain.
Hmm.
The bigger problem, like, and again, I'm not betting against Noah. I'm not that silly. But the Jamaicans are a problem, folks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not going to tell you Noah's not going to be ready. I'm not going to tell you that he's not going to win, but it's not going to be easy. Because Mr. Seville, we have to remember who coaches him. And
Yep.
if you look at his race model has become very Bolt-like,
Yep.
where he's more than efficient as a starter and he's finishing very, very well.
We all agree with that. But Mr. Seville has to stop choking on the big stages.
Not going to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if he shows up, he's a problem.
Yeah, he's absolutely a
If he
problem.
does what we've seen him do this year so far, he's a problem. Mr. Thompson is a problem.
As the kids say, Mr. Thompson is a whole ass problem.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
actually more worried that Noah would take the loss to Seville than Thompson, assuming Seville
interesting.
goes up and runs. Because what he keeps doing 0 to 10, really, if you look at the analytics of it, what he's doing from 0 to 10 to the field, like, it's just better than everybody else right now.
I said he's very Bolt-like.
Yeah.
Coached by the same guy.
My biggest takeaway from Celestia was this just in. Keely Hodgkinson is not only back, she is
Oh boy.
playing with her food.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive first race back.
I mean, she's run 2 races this year, 154 and 155, 154 and
Mm-hmm.
156.
Mm-hmm.
And
And for me,
storming away.
you have to address the elephant in the room. Mr. Tench looks really, really
Ooh,
good.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he looks like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's figured it out. You have to give him and his team because it's the same people that coached him in college. He never left, and they have done very, very well with him. And I'll be honest with you, like he's the most consistent guy didn't make the team, which was a shocker. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
But other than Trey, he's been the most consistent hurdler all year long, and he continues to be.
Yeah. No, the Lausanne race was extremely impressive. Can keep his composure, get the win, sub 13. It wasn't a monsoon when they competed, but it was not awesome, right?
No,
Like,
it's never awesome when it's raining like that for the hurdlers, as
No.
you well know.
so that was, yeah, very impressive. But we all know Tinch can do that. Like,
Yes. We saw
he has,
it when he was
yeah,
at Pitt State. We're just
Mm-hmm.
like, this dude is an alien. He's got
Yeah.
that kind of ability. Man.
the men's hurdles, regardless of Trey not qualifying, until I see something dramatically different from somebody else, I look at it the same way. If we're gonna have if the world champion is gonna be sub 1285, well then I'm betting on one person. But if you tell me that the race is gonna be won at 12.9, well then everybody in the final can win,
Mm-hmm.
and it's wide open. So
Yeah. And then there's been a Warholm sighting.
Ooh, boy. That
This just in.
yeah.
The news of my demise has been greatly overstated.
yes.
Hey,
Greatly
listen,
exaggerated.
I will, and I wasn't even shooting when I said it. We don't do retractions around here very often. I am retracting my previous statement. I said I thought that Karsten Warholm's days of sub 46 are over. I no longer believe that. It's coming.
Uh-oh.
And I could be wrong, but I think that what helps is they go every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't run. They run, like I said, every other day. Like in the past, they've gone 2 days, day off. Then the final, now they run every other day. So
If you go back, I haven't done it yet, and that's why I'm saying it right now. If I'm wrong about this, I want y'all to tell me or someone to tell me. But if you go back to the Tokyo season, where he ultimately delivered the 45.9 world record, the incredible run that he was on during that year,
Mm-hmm.
his pattern is following that exact same movement and development right now. He just ran the 46.2, going 13 for 9, and then having to put in his 15 for the 10. that's exactly what he was doing prior to those Olympics. And then when he put the 13 to 10, he went 45. So that's what I'm looking at from him. It looked incredible.
Well, it's setting up to be another barnstorm of a race.
Yeah, I'm still expecting a big surprise from Mr. Benjamin. Not sure why, but I am.
I, I, so I agree with you. I just don't know that I would call it a surprise at this point. Like
But yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Rye is ready for all things that can occur at this
Hmm.
point.
See,
And
I think for
there's a quiet calm to him right now.
right. And see, like if you watch closely, you talk about patterns. And I'm not talking about race patterns here, but like Joanna and Rye have matured together, right? She's matured as a coach, he's matured as an athlete. And I think there's something to be said to that. There's a confidence in both of them. I don't think they're afraid of Worm anymore.
Yeah,
You
mm.
know?
I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I just think that's going to be one epic battle.
It's going to be a good one to watch for sure.
Hmm.
When did 143 become slow?
This year.
This year.
And you're not see. First of all, you're not allowed to
Um,
say things like that because when I say things like that, oh, you're crazy,
Hmm.
right?
But I mean, I feel
And
like
and, it's, and hold on a second. 143 is not slow. It's just not fast anymore.
it's just
It's
not
just
good
different.
enough.
Exactly. There you go.
Just
It's
not
not
good
so.
just
enough.
yes. It's
So
different.
check this out. What would you guess? What would you foreguess 143.00 is on the all-time performance list currently? Because I actually know this answer.
20.
I'm gonna say
It's
14.
What do you got, KST? What do you got, Big League?
I'm gonna
8.
say I'm gonna say 16.
Okay. What you got, Big League?
Can you not hear me?
No. Now I can.
Oh, 8.
30.
Oh,
Hey, I was
What?
closest. I win.
It's
Hold on a second. Hold on.
30th.
30 humans or 30
No.
performances?
Performances. Performances.
No, no. Okay. All right. Okay.
So
That's
you thought
that.
you thought I meant performers? I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah.
But
Oh wait. If it's performers, is it 20?
it's a little under 20.
So either way, I won.
But but I'm just
No, you didn't.
saying,
Either way you won. What do you mean? Either way you
you either
won?
win or
We
you
like,
all
lose. You don't
guessed. I
get it.
feel
You
like I was the
kinda.
closest.
What did you
listen.
say?
We all guessed. I feel like I was the closest.
No, but so what did you say? You said 20?
I
Yeah,
said
he said
20.
20. But this is where the 800 is. Because I'm not sure there's another event like this in track in the United States. Maybe I'm wrong. Because the women's hurdles might be this way. But number one, two, three, and four all time in the US are all currently running. And
Right.
Donovan Brazier is the oldest one of those four.
Well, I mean that's the 400 hurdles, men and women.
And Mark Everett, who was an absolute superstar in the eight at 143.20, is 10th.
That's crazy.
Like the
Oh,
800 it has gone bananas in the
Well,
last 3 years.
I mean, there's probably some super nerdy way to actually measure this, but the 800 meters might be the perfect event for maximum assistance from the new shoe technology.
I,
You
I
know?
I mean, I'm sure there's some math to be done there, but I would say empirically I would not disagree with you.
Ugh.
You know what's entertaining is the comment initially that you made is like one was since when is 143 slow, right? We have acknowledged in the last conversation of 3 minutes that the needle is moved. And not just the needle moving professionally, but the trickle down effect, right? Because Cooper's, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can say his name because he's going. But, anyways, since the high schooler has run 42, but there's still a faction of the population who still thinks that 50 is good enough. or 45 is good enough.
Oh yeah, no, you better you gotta move your head out your ass on that one.
No, but
That
it's just crazy, right? Because as a whole, the needle has moved. And it's just
Yeah.
like, get on the bus because you're gonna get left.
45 seconds used to be elite indoors. Now 45 seconds doesn't make the meet.
Be careful. You sound like somebody I know.
Hey, listen, I'm on board. I'm on board with Sir Lucius's comments about what marks are serviceable and what marks are good at this point.
So 5 of the top 10 in history in 800 were set last year,
Yeah.
between last year and this
that's
year.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, insanity.
I think that Rudisha and Seb Coe are the only two in the top 10 not set in the last 2 years.
No, Cruz is still in there.
Yeah.
He ran 141.77.
Yeah. That's three. My bad.
It's just wild.
The game isn't the game. Oh, the game's a different game now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
That's for
everybody
sure.
has it. Do you remember a Game Genie for Nintendo? The little
Yeah.
attachment that you put onto it and it souped up the game.
Oh
800 has a
gosh.
Game Genie and someone's inserted it into the Nintendo. They've got the code.
So,
It's called Martin.
What's
I'm just
next,
kidding.
Chewy?
I'm
Because
not, but I
we
am.
can't give short time to these other topics now.
No.
Well,
Well,
there's only
other
one other
topic.
topic right now.
Yeah.
So
There's only one other topic.
The other topic is dun dun dun. The eloquent comment statement. I'm gonna say statement from Miss Gabby. And I got lost and I lost it on my screen. Hold on. Hold on. Unless somebody else has it faster than I do.
Or you were just gonna read it.
I was
yeah,
going to
you have
read
to
it,
read it.
but where'd it go? Shoot. Okay, here we go. Oh, no glasses. It's YOLO. Doping coaches should be banned for life from coaching in the sport. Whether you were banned while competing as an athlete or caught distributing as a coach, for some both. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. If you train under a coach who is known for doping once, twice, or even 3 times for some, you are complicit. That is my stance. So this was posted by Gabby Thomas a few days ago now. Um, there is a lot to be, call it said, inferred, and agreed, disagreed on in these words that have compiled into a statement.
But okay, let's not do that to Gabby. Let's not infer. Take the woman for what she said, because for what she said is more than enough. Like whatever side of your opinion about what Gabby said may be, and I'm sure we're going to get a variance here. There's no need for anyone, and I know that's the day and age that we're in, but the woman said what she said.
Yeah, nothing needs to be inferred. Nothing needs to be
To
inferred at
take
all.
it further and be like, oh, this is what she means. No. She said what she said. And there's a lot that she said. So just focus on that. You know?
Somebody said something of that nature to me, and I said, when has somebody with a Harvard degree struggled to say what they wanted to say? Gabby
Right.
said exactly what she wanted to say.
That's right. So where are we with this?
Well, you're talking. You start. What is your feeling on what she said? What is your feeling on the subject matter?
I absolutely loved what she said. I absolutely, as you all know, have always agreed with that stance that she has taken. And I give her a standing ovation for having the guts to say it. Because the truth of the matter is, we all know a lot of people in this business. We know a lot of athletes, we know a lot of coaches. And what Gabby had the guts to say publicly from her very big platform is how the majority of people that I know claim they feel, but never actually go out there and speak on. And don't get it twisted, Gabby has nothing to prove to anybody on a track. She's accomplished the biggest things to accomplish in our sport, but she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to open herself up to the absolute flaming that she's getting for this. My question is, if you're against what she said in principle, or if you even disagree on it, why do you disagree on it? For those people who disagree, do you think those type of coaches should be allowed in our business? I don't.
Um, I'll go next. Why not? Uh, the governor is laughing because he has said these words on a bus full of athletes and coaches at Indoor Worlds out of frustration in 2001. And he was sitting next to me, kind of hitting me like, you're saying these things out loud. And I just feel like this. There is no place in our sport for shenanigans. And if you are guilty of shenanigans, I don't want to stop you from ever being able to make a living. But I don't ever think that I'm okay with, we'll say in principle, not in specificity, I guess, but in principle, you having the opportunity to do that to the sport again, right? Because hey, if you do something and you make it and you make a poor choice as an athlete, like as much as I don't agree with it, I get it. But the problem is if you made that choice once, there is obviously an opportunity for you to do it again with somebody else's career. And if you do, honestly, that's more damning. And so I would say I could be talked off of if you were ever dirty as an athlete, you shouldn't ever be allowed to coach. But I don't think I could be talked out of if you were ever dirt. Like if you ever were found to have given athletes drugs, if you were ever complicit in the drug trade, as it were, Chuck Deeb is banned, as far as I'm concerned. Like, can't ever coach anybody at any level anymore.
So we have seen coaches get banned. Most recently, a high school coach was banned, was he not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think there is and I'm not taking any sides in this because I will never go into, you know, my career and the amount of times that I'm on a plane heading home and I'm like, hmm, breathe. But, obviously there's a difference between a coach that's been found to be guilty multiple times, right? Where there's direct proof that that athlete is feeding these athletes drugs, and a coach that has been where it's assumed,
Mm-hmm.
where it's thought of. And the the danger that we fall into is if said athlete goes into it on their own, it still falls on the coach.
Yeah.
There is still a connection, right? And That's the part that, you know, it complicates things. And this is a world I think that we've had to live in where we're all going home with some sort of thought in our head as to what we just saw or what we just witnessed. Um, and I think Gabby's point is extremely valid, right? But you're talking about a very specific situation where athlete X has been shown to give athlete Y, I mean, coach X has been known to give drugs and somehow just keeps popping up time after time after time with proof. Yeah, that can't fly. And I would hope that with the recent uh actions by WADA, USADA, where they were able to make that connection, we're going to see more of that happening, and so yeah, I mean, do I agree? I absolutely agree. I just feel like it's a different it's a different situation to project or to predict or to have, some sort of thought that yes, of course that coach is, right? We need proof, and that coach should be shown to be a cheater.
Right. So I'm probably going to be the most broad based on this. So like I don't believe that if an athlete took drugs that they shouldn't be able to coach. I don't think that's not fair. Um, Now, as you just said, if the athlete has been proven to be giving their athletes drugs, then they need to be
Hmm.
gone. If
Hmm.
that said athlete becomes a coach, becomes a, as we like to say in this business, a drug coach, then
Hmm.
they need to be gone.
Yeah.
I think that for me, first of all, we live in America. There's this little thing called freedom of speech. So the people that are flaming Gabby, she has a right to her opinion. She has a right to voice her opinion. I think for me, what a lot of people have found issue with is the timing of it all.
Hmm.
If we felt this way, then we didn't feel this way last year when we were on top, but now that we're not on top, now there's an issue with it. I'm not saying that's why Gabby's doing it, so don't start flaming me, folks. But that's what most people are saying, that they have a problem with the timing of her comments because Melissa's on top now, and she's not. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think it's like anything else. I believe in giving people second chances, but so I'm not going to co-sign with if you're being coached by somebody that took drugs, that person that you're complicit with what they did. I'm
Hmm.
not going to co-sign on if somebody took drugs, then they should not be allowed to coach. But if you're ever going to clean up the sport, then then you're going to have to start punishing more than just because suspending the athlete for 3 years, but you're not suspending the coach that was distributing or
Hmm.
complicit in this case. You're not suspending the coach, then the cycle
Facilitating.
just goes exactly. Yeah, you just keep so the cycle just keeps going along. So
So I want to focus on the very, very last part
Hmm.
of that actual statement. And if I was going to take aim at any part of her statement, like I have no problem with the first part of her statement. The whole, and if you train with the coach that fits this profile, you are complicit.
Yeah, that part's tough.
Hmm. That's a very broad stroke.
It is.
Hmm.
And I want to make sure that I articulate myself the way I mean to. I think it was a brilliant thing for her to add on, but it's very, very, very complicated. And Gabby is smart enough to know that it's very, very complicated. Because as we all know, not all athletes are truly, quote unquote, in control of where they train. There are business interests
Hmm.
that dictate where athletes are sent. Now, you can stand on the side of the fence that says you always have a choice.
So
Yeah,
before you go any further, I want to expound on that. Meaning, we know that there are athletes that have trained with a coach, and were told to go to another coach of the shoe company's choosing
Yep.
in order to get the bag.
Yep.
correct.
Right. Right.
Correct.
Okay?
And
So,
and I and you know to make this a little bit more palatable, I'll use not a current example, I'll use an example from the past. The Justin Gatlin issue. When Justin turned professional and was ultimately sent to Trevor Graham, it was widely understood by a lot of people that Trevor Graham and the people in his camp had problems. A lot of people told Justin not to go there.
mm,
But in his youth and at that time in the world, that's where he ultimately went. Now, I'm not interested in relitigating the facts and details of Justin Gatlin's career on this issue, but Justin wasn't fully in control of where he was initially sent, right? And so it's like that's why I've always taken the hard line of, yo, let's just get these people up out of here so situations like that can't live at all. Right? There are a lot of very talented, very intelligent male, female coaches that are not in these type of positions because people who have done sinister things in our sport are holding positions. And let's be clear, holding positions at the youth level, holding positions at the NCAA level, holding positions at the professional level. So, from a principle, like I said, I love what Gabby said. And I love the bravery that it takes to say something like that from her position. That's not a fight that she has to take on. She could just do what most people do. Get my medals, get my money, shut up, have these conversations in the corner of the hotel or in my text messages in DMs, right? Or on the phone with my homeboys and my homegirls. She said it out loud on her platform for the world to see.
mhm.
I respect the guts that it takes to do that. And so the other thing that I respect about Gabby that has come out after those comments in connection to all of this, right? Gabby has taken the time to go out and give a basically a public address announcement and explain what most people are claiming to be her whereabouts violations, which she proved that she actually wasn't guilty of at the time.
Mhm.
But she gave context to it. She gave the truthful narrative behind all of that. And I wish more athletes would do that. Because everybody wants grace when they get in trouble, but they never actually step out and explain it in realistic ways that are provable and documented, right? So listen, I thought ultimately what she did screamed of integrity. And I think our sport could always use an uptick in integrity.
I have a question for
Yeah.
all of you.
Can we
If
before you ask the question, like, I mean, I ask a question, like, why do you say it screams of integrity?
Because the five of us right sitting here have all at different points in our lives in this sport been witness to, heard of, participated in conversations that happen in the dark, like the one Gabby chose to have in the light. And I wish more people who felt like that would stand on business and say so. It takes integrity to step out and give a very unpopular opinion on a controversial matter. It does. It takes integrity to do that.
Agree. My question is, I guess, goes back to a quintessential belief of mine. If I told you that if you were a one-time drug cheat in our sport, that you should be banned from our sport for good, what would you say?
I need more context.
Drug cheat. not whereabouts. Like you failed drug tests.
If Kareem Street Thompson was proven to have been taking illegal testosterone one time,
Yes,
Charles
correct.
Ryan wants him out of the sport forever.
That
Period.
that
Yes,
so that's the question.
that's me.
Like
That's me.
that would literally be zero tolerance. What do you guys think of that?
I don't agree. People are human. People make mistakes. People are influenced by other people. Again, I'm a belief that people can change. I'm a belief that people can, get better from bad situations. So no, I don't agree with zero. It's like absolute zero tolerance from that perspective. I think the the second time, yeah, you're done. But if you make the mistake the first time, when do we stop giving people second chances?
Hmm.
That's
You,
just my take on it.
you know what?
So
I
Or
would agree.
I
I
think
would
I will
agree.
say this before you continue is that everybody on the screen has been given a second chance in life at something.
Yeah, that type of argument you lose me on. Here's where
I'm
I
not, I
would
wasn't trying to win you over.
I
I'm
know,
like
I
Gabby
know,
on this one. I'm standing
I
here.
know.
That's where I am.
I got you.
I'm not
I
talking
would
I
be
really
more
to care well
inclined.
that's who else agrees or disagrees. That's just who I am, how I feel about it.
I got you. I would be more inclined to stand next to you on that perspective if the rules were in place and there was a mechanism that the guilty athlete and, for the record, guilty coaches had to make restitution to the people who they've robbed. And don't get it twisted, that's what they've done. They've robbed people of opportunities, of bonuses, of rollovers, of real life-changing situations. Like the
like that's my issue. I think that's why I feel that way because if you go to an Olympics and you get a silver medal and then retroactively they hold a ceremony for you in an empty stadium or even a full stadium for that matter to give you your gold medal, listen, that is so
not enough.
far
Okay,
from
so
making up for that.
okay, so suspending the person for life doesn't change that. You
No,
can't
but it
let
makes you
rest.
feel
Now, hold on a
better.
second, but it doesn't. You can't that does not restitution in this case because there's nothing you can do to recreate that moment. And banning the person for life, in my opinion, sir, that was a horrible example.
Well, I don't think it's a horrible example, and
It
I say
absolutely is
that
because
okay.
you can't recreate that moment. You can't.
But you okay, but my point and why I completely agree with this stance is that's an actual deterrent. That's a real live deterrent to doing drugs.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not.
No, clearly it is because
Banned for life
if
doesn't
you were
exist. It would
banned for
be.
life,
Okay, so you
if you
you
were
may be
banned for
you may be
life,
right for that with some people, right? But the thing that you young folks aren't factoring in here is the financial side of this. We have both been privy to the survey that was taken years ago where people were asked if you could take drugs,
Mm-hmm.
knowing it would cut years off of your life and be the Olympic champion, would you do it? And the answer was yes. So if you really believe that people won't take drugs to get the big payday, knowing that they might get away with it anyway,
That's not what
and
I'm
it,
saying. I don't think
no, no,
that's
no,
what
I'm talking to the splash dude,
I don't think
right?
that's what he's saying either, though.
That is exactly what he just said. It's a
no, what
deterrent. He said it's a deterrent for them if they know they're going to be banned for life. That's what you said.
and I do believe that because that is
Right. And
so
I
much
disagree
stronger. It is so much stronger than anything that exists.
because there's still the hope that they're going to get away with it. There's still the hope that they'll never get caught. So they're going to try because of the financial side of it. Because let's be realistic, people don't take drugs so they can run fast, just so they can run fast. They take drugs so they can run fast and get the money. And that's going as long as the money is the way it is, people are going to do these things to get to the money. If they can get to the money because they ain't got to give it back, you can't get it back from them.
Okay. Can I offer
Sure.
It's an American perspective. I know we're talking about global athletics. I would love to live in this profession in a world where, because let's be clear, taking performance enhancing drugs, illegal performance enhancing drugs, is by definition fraudulent. If you knew that you would be banned for life and charged with federal fraud, which is going to put you in jail, that would actually be a deterrent, and there would still be idiots who will chance it.
Y'all are funny.
Sir, wait a minute. There are
Okay,
we
y'all are funny to
murder
me.
murder has capital punishment,
And
and
people still do it.
people still choose to commit murder. So,
And it's
but
right. So
that
you
doesn't
think
mean
they're not going to choose
that
to
there
take
isn't a deterrent.
steroids? Okay,
That
so
doesn't mean
okay,
there isn't a
okay, so
deterrent.
but they still do it, and they go do their time. So what I'm
Correct.
saying to you is it's
But
no
no
different
one does time.
than drug dealers and all that stuff. So if you put the time out there, okay, I'm not telling you that. Okay, it's not going to clean up the sport. There are people that are still going to try to get away with it because of the financial gain of it. Because some
Okay,
people
but
out there think they're smarter than the
then you
system.
have to answer the other side of that argument. Since there's always going to be someone willing to cheat, so then we shouldn't have rules at all?
I never said that.
But what's the what if you're saying that the deterrents don't matter and making the punishments more severe
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything? I'm asking you the flip of that.
What's the flip of it?
What 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 would you
Okay.
suggest
So
to be done?
okay. So like again, like it's not my job, and I don't want the job to clean up the sport. Not I don't not doing it, right? But what I will tell you is this: is that to think that whatever deterrent you put in there is going to clean up the sport, I find laughable because we are a money hungry, money driven society, and we always have been, right? You know, the talk of how the track and field circuit itself is mafia like, right? And for those of you who've been on the circuit, you know what that means, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
So the thought that people are going to stop cheating if there's a bigger penalty, they're just going to try to way to be smarter with their cheating, in my opinion.
Yes, these are
Unless
all
there's
going to be
some way
fine.
to even the playing field with the money and all that stuff, and we don't need to dive into that tonight. But at the
And
end
I
of the
don't
day,
disagree with you that
yeah,
nothing will completely clean it. I
right.
just feel like I would like for the deterrents to be as great as they can be, if that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
look, that's fair. I mean, I just
Hmm.
happen to think that no matter what the deterrent is, as long as the money is bigger at the top and as big as it is, the biggest discrepancy, because if the money was the playing field as far as the money goes was more equal, I think there would be less cheating. But because you have to be so elite to get the big money, I think that's why some people cheat.
Oh,
And
I'd even
I
say,
don't even think I don't even think I would fight you on that. Like I think
no,
I'm 100% in your camp on those statements.
I wouldn't fight you on that either. I'd actually take that a step further because again, we all people tend to forget the big money in our sport is chump change to all the rest of professional sports.
Mhm.
Right.
It is.
If the big money in our sport looked like the professional money in other sports, I think there'd be less cheating
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you're not
'Cause
scraping
you
on just
exactly. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
the two millionaire. That
Exactly. Yeah.
you put some zeros
We
behind
have
that.
we have gotten us back to probably from our original premise in life on this show, right? Is that the floor is way too low.
Right.
Right.
The poverty line in our sport is way too low.
Well,
And so
but that's the
because they're
best way to
trying to
articulate
get and so the people that are quote unquote trying to get out of the ghetto, they're gonna cheat. That's what
it.
they're
No,
gonna do.
but that's actually the smartest way to articulate it. Our sport functions even at the top contextually in poverty. And
Yes.
people in poverty do all kind of crazy shit to fight their way out of poverty.
Hmm.
That's what they do. So again, even if I have understanding and this much level of of what's the word that I'm looking here for? Empathy for the idea of why you would consider doing these things. I understand that. But my heart bleeds for the people who choose the righteous path, which is the majority, and are being committed, having fraud committed upon them. And that's coaches, that's athletes, right? That's everyone. The majority of people in this game do it right. And therefore, the people who do it wrong, the fraudsters, in my world, don't belong and have never belonged. It's just we don't have a stomach enough to speak about it and work actively to get them up out of here. It is America. You can go make money in America doing all kind of crazy shit. Just go figure it out in another realm that doesn't have to do with what we do.
And again, I think the repeat offender, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't think that it's fair to say that, okay, so and so took drugs when they were 22, 23 years old, and then they get to be 30 something years old and they want to coach. And you can't coach because you took drugs.
Well, that's why I said I could be talked off of that stance. I
Yeah,
just
I'm never
can't.
going to get on that stance.
I can't in any way, shape, or form. Like if you are a coach and are found to be a drug cheat coach, like I'm a zero tolerance for that.
So I have a branch question to this. We've talked about being banned from the sport. Our sport is what I assume you're talking about. Are they banned from other sports?
No, 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 no. I ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But why
No.
not?
I don't
Well, because for one, I'll say this: the drug testing, drug culture, and drug protocols from sport to sport are like
vastly
vastly
different.
different,
Hmm.
Okay,
right? Like
so
what's legal in football would get every single football player would fail a drug test in track.
Absolutely.
okay,
Right.
so hold on. So here's the morality of it. Why does that change?
So to the point, if I was found to be giving my athletes illegal banned substances and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers decide that they want to pay me for my brain about how to make people faster, that's their business. That's a
Yeah.
whole
And if they
private industry.
and then if the things you're doing within their organization, even though they're illegal in track and field, are illegal within football, you're
Right.
a rock star.
Right.
Exactly. And,
Like
and, and
I
football
don't
has
know.
rules. If
Is
I violate the
HGH
football
is
rules, then I'm gonna
HGH
get your
illegal
rules.
in football? I have no idea.
I don't either.
Right? Like I would imagine EPO is probably not illegal in football.
And so let's go back a little bit to the Gabby thing again. I think the people that are upset with Gabby are upset because they think that she's doing it because she's getting beat right now, right?
Which is just
So
a
yeah,
it's a wild.
but it could be wild, but it's not. You're not surprised that people think that, right?
No.
You're not,
No.
and so so it's just the timing of it's bad, right? Because if she had said it a year ago, it doesn't make those people clap the way they're clapping, right? And like so, if even if you look at what Dennis's group is doing, so this is because that's what this is all about. We know that, right? But they're all running what they went when they went there. Like they wasn't like any of them showed up there that they weren't close to or exactly what they are now. So let's address that. It's not like anybody went there and was running 11-3 and now they're running 10-6. That didn't happen. Right. So like the people that are wanting making it about the performance of this group, the only person that's had any big jumps really is Kenny in the
Right.
100 because he didn't run the 100.
Right.
Right. But the rest of them, Courtney Lindsay was 9.8 and 19.8 when he went there. You know, Brandon Hicklin was 9.93 when he went there. Christian Coleman he was better than the 200, but he was 9.8 when he went there. You know, so like it doesn't jive, and we're going to accuse that being a drug culture all of a sudden because they're just doing what they were doing before they got there. You know, so at the end of the day, I think for me, like I understand where she's coming from. You know, and also there's some other factors in here that have driven this. You know,
Yeah.
there's some situations with our very dear friend Ray Edwards is behind a lot of this, right? Because he's thrown some people under the bus. And I don't really care to dive into that tonight. But Ray is Ray, and Ray's going. They say what 10 toes down or whatever it is. He going. I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and he likes to send out receipts. So that's Ray. And I think
Well,
that stirred this all up because Ray pointed some fingers at that camp or at Dennis, and that got Gabby going.
right. And so again, we don't need to get down the rabbit hole of that, but there's for the people that are complaining about the timing, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's real easy and lazy to jump to whatever these conclusions are. But if you take a little bit deeper of a look, you can see why the timing, the situations connected to surrounding around Ray are definitely a part of that. But what I think also plays into it, and I was having this conversation the other day, like people seem to forget there's the AIU and other powers, other entities around doping have taken a pretty consistent practice, if you will, of right around 30 days out from the big meet over the past 4 to 5 years is when you start hearing the things coming out. In this cycle, we've had three or four, right? The most recent one was Beck Romanoff, or whatever you say her name,
Yeah.
right? So like it's 30 days out from the championship. The cases are starting to drop. The names are starting to be put out. It's happened every year for the past 5 6 years, right? And you take that combined with the stuff that Ray had put out and has going on, and then you have a person like Gabby and athletes like Gabby who are standing there looking at this like, yo, I'm sitting here battling all kind of things within my house, injuries, training, whatever, right? To get to scrape myself onto this 200-meter team. And I'm dealing with this? That's what y'all are telling me? And so she steps out and says something. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I totally get why that would happen.
Well, and look, it's America. We have this, like I said, freedom of speech thing. So she's entitled to her opinion. And that's what she just said. She just voiced her opinion. And it's just the timing of it's bad if you don't do a deeper dive into the whole thing. No.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I personally, I'm not Gabby. I wouldn't have said what she said. I just kept my mouth shut and kept working. But that's not me. She obviously saw the need that there was something to be said. And again, I think because people don't understand the context of the whole thing,
Hmm.
all the information behind it, that there were things that prompted her to this. I
Right.
don't think Gabby's saying this because she's getting beat. She's saying this because she was given information to lead her to believe that there's something not right about some situations. That's what I believe.
Mm.
But
Right.
but she doesn't have any proof of it. So but what's again, if you look deeper into the statement, most people think this about Dennis. Dennis is not the only person that had issue with this, you know.
Nope.
Oh
And
no.
there's other coaches, Lance has had issues, coaches have been banned from the sport. And as we know, Ray's under suspension right now. John Drummond served a suspension, you know. But I think also for me, it's like because it's just my nature. I think that sometimes you got to give people a chance. Okay, so like we all watched the videos of Dennis and the things he was saying in this camp, right? And none of us understand what he was saying. And I've had this conversation with Dennis, right? I have no idea what he was saying in that video, but I can tell you this. Dennis said those very same things to me back in 1997 when I was coaching him. We had a 2 hour long dinner and he kept on, and didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now, but clearly he understands what he's trying to do and his camp understands what he's trying to do and it works. But I can tell you right now that Joker had a conversation with me 28 years ago.
Mm.
For those of us who know Dennis, when he believes in something, he's going to figure it out. And I told him this yesterday. I said, look, I still don't understand what you're saying. But I do remember many of those same things he was saying in that video. He tried to explain to me at this little Italian restaurant that's about 5 miles from my house, 28 years ago. So this is something that's been brewing in his head for a very long time. a very long time. So I mean, like, I agree. Kudos to Gabby for speaking her mind. I think, those of us that are involved would hope that it wouldn't have happened before the world to taint, it sends a poor message. I would imagine it's going to cause some tension in the USA team camp area on occasion. So,
Hey,
Oh,
shit.
to be a
When isn't there
fly on the
something?
wall at relay camp.
well, Gabby's not at relay camp, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
So close it out there. I think that's a good mic drop and for lack of a better way, shit stir to end on. And let that be a conversation header for everybody else. Um, over the last few weeks, we've had some great conversations or statements, if you would, in the comments. So we urge you to keep it up. We try to respond to them if it's not too hard to respond to. Um,
Is there
but
a
we
good
do read
comment to
them.
deal with right now?
No, but yes.
Let's hear it, Chewy.
Well, no, it's the NACAC comment about how it won't help in the world rankings to elevate to world qualifications. And
Oh, we dealt with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all. That was the
Hmm.
only one.
Right.
So, but with that said, always fun times, always great things to learn from and discuss and bring to your tables that you belly up to so you make everybody better around you as well. So, thank you, gentlemen, for your thoughts. Brain cells will hopefully replenish those before the day tomorrow. But other than that, I know, right? Other than that, have a great week, everyone, and we'll see each other again soon. Bye, y'all.